Hi, everyone. I have my friend Denette here, and Denette is going to share what's working for her right now when it comes to consistency in her work and her effort, and what's working with networking in order to enroll a bunch of people. And so, just for context, over the past quarter, last 3 months, Danette's enrolled 23 people, but she's done that having her network marketing business, another business. What's your other business? And your husband's business. So you have three businesses altogether. What do
Yep.
you do in your other businesses?
My other business is I own an insurance company.
Okay.
Um, I'm a health and life insurance agent. I kind of don't really work it a whole lot. I just kind of help people when they need help. I got out of that a few years ago when we moved here to Medford, Oregon.
Okay.
And my husband we own a landscaping business, which
Cool.
is very busy right now.
I'll bet. Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. So tell us what's working for you right now when it comes to being consistent in your work. A lot of people are very distracted by all the things.
Mhm.
It's really hard to stay focused.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
is.
more than
And
any
I
time.
was very, very all over the board with three different businesses trying to keep it. And I time blocked like the beginning of COVID. I started time blocking and then I drifted away from that. I really seriously think just because it was like, oh, I don't need to do that anymore. I've got a handle on everything. And I didn't. So I went back to time blocking, and I know that a lot of people will do it for the whole month, or there's certain things that they put in their calendar they do every day, which I do the exact same. But on Sundays, I sit with Jed and I said, okay, what has to get done this week? And we go through and we make a list of everything that I have to get done, either for his business or for my business. And I time block, and I live by my time blocking now, and I don't stray away from it. And that's the only way that I can feel like I can get everything done around our home, because we also have about a half acre,
Oh,
and
wow.
all the businesses. Yeah. Yeah, it's a busy life. That's why I had to quit my other job.
Right. So, so doesn't it come naturally to you, the time blocking?
No, I have to do this. I have to, it's just I have to make myself sit down and do it. It's something that I know that I have to do. And so I actually time block to time block, to be honest. I
I
mean,
also time block to time block.
yeah, we sit down Sunday and I meal plan too. I mean, I also have a baseball coach husband, so we pretty much time block everything. And
Well, because
it's,
how else does it all work together, right?
yeah, it doesn't. It's like, he doesn't get home till 7 o'clock one night and I'm freaking out. It's like, well, your dinner's cold. It just doesn't click. Life doesn't click if you don't have things. When you have a busy lifestyle, you have to time block. And a lot of people go, I can't live by a schedule. Well, it's it's a roadmap to your life.
That's so good.
And that's
That
kind
was
of the
what
way.
going to be my next question is what do you say to people who, right? Because I'm a big fan of time blocking. I learned it when I was 20. Most people aren't learning it when they're 20, right? So they're kind of set in their own way of doing things.
Mhm.
So what would you say to someone who wants to have more flexibility, who wants to not be constrained, right? Who's like really fearful of if I put it in my calendar and I don't do it, then I'm bad, right? Like all of those emotions around it. What encouragement would you give to them?
I'd say, I do that. There's things that are in my calendar that don't get done. But I don't beat myself up. I did. I was one of those people
Really?
until the fact, yeah, I was. It was like it's as easy as taking the dogs for a walk. I time block my dog walking. I have two golden retrievers, and so I time block what time I'm supposed to take the dogs. If the day got busy and I wasn't able to do it, I'd feel guilty. I mean, it would be like Tucker would look at me and I'd be like, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. You didn't get your walk today. And so you can't do that. You cannot beat yourself up. You just do the best you can. If it didn't get done today, see if there's time to do it tomorrow. If there's not time to do it tomorrow, it's okay. I
Right.
mean, it just wasn't meant to be. It is what it is. You can't keep beating yourself up. I think a lot of people hate living by a schedule. I think that's more why they don't do it. It's because they are like, no, I'm doing network marketing because I don't want to be checked in and out of everything. but then nothing gets done.
Yeah. Well, that's the wrong way to look at a flexible schedule.
Right.
So people want, I want a flexible schedule. Well, a flexible schedule is still like there's two words, flexible
Flexible.
and schedule.
Yep. And you have to be
So,
flexible.
yeah.
You have to be. I mean, literally, you have to be. I beat myself up to the point that, if I didn't have something done by the time Jed got home, I would be like freaking out. And he's like, I thought that this was flexible. Why are you doing this? I'm like, because I feel like I needed to get it done because I was so regimented on a regular schedule. You have to be flexible. You have to just be able to, okay, it didn't get done. Let's schedule it for another day.
What does a typical work week look like for you? What are the things that you schedule? So just for context, time blocking is, looking at a planner and saying, this is when I'm going to do this thing, right? That's all time blocking is. So what are some of the things that you do, make sure to do in your business that create those consistent results?
I start my day every single day with my daily devotions and my reading, and mindset's a big thing for me, and it's helped me tremendously. I hated reading. I mean, I absolutely hated reading until Amanda, a friend, said, "No, you have to start reading these mind help books." And I'm like, "Yeah, okay, whatever." And I love it. Now I mean, I got a whole library. And my girlfriend this weekend said, "You hated reading? I would have never thought that. The only time I see you is you've got a book in your hands." So I schedule my personal time from 5 o'clock till 5:45 is the me time. And then the day starts with coffee with Jed and focusing on him, getting him out the door. Then I just start, basically it's work from 8 to 8:30, 9:30 to 10:30. I walk my dogs. I mean, I schedule literally everything. I do networking, and you can get wrapped up in Facebook and social media.
Sure.
And I feel like it's a waste of time, but you can, if you don't schedule how many hours you're going to be on that networking. And right now during pandemic, it was social media was how we network. You will waste your day away. So I do that. I have like an hour and a half to 2 hours in the morning and an hour and a half to 2 hours at night. I schedule, and that's when I go in and do my networking. And the rest of the time is scheduled just basically with one-on-ones, banking, business work on the other end of it, and workout, because that's my other big, huge thing is I have to work out for an hour every single day. That's my mind therapy.
That's awesome. When things go awry, how do you fix it and keep yourself from missing multiple days in a row?
That's kind of a hard one. I basically I just try to make it up the next day. I mean, it's like the only things that really ever go awry, my business part don't. I'm spot on my business. The things that might go awry are maybe watering the flowers or taking the dogs for a walk, things around the house. And so I just make that up the next day. Or maybe the bathroom didn't get cleaned today. It might have to wait till tomorrow. So the non-essentials, I guess is what you would call them, I would be the only things that probably go arise. But otherwise, I stay true to schedule. Pretty
And
much.
that's because you left your full-time job, so this has become your full-time job, and so you treat
Exactly.
it in the same way you treated your full-time job. So if you had your previous full-time job, you wouldn't like water the flowers instead of working.
Exactly.
You just kind of maintain that same schedule.
Yeah. I've worked from home with my insurance agency too for years. And so a lot of people were like, how could you do that? But I was raised like you have an open sign. And when you got that open sign at that business, you better be there. And that's how I was raised. I've always been in the service industry. And so it's like from this time to this time, that's my open sign. And my office is open. And if Jed happens to get home early, he knows not to come in here. I mean, we really run it as a business because that's what it is.
I love that. So let's talk a little bit about networking. You love being in person. You left your full-time job and then boom. So talk to us about what it was like to transition, what you thought your life would be like to social media networking, and then we can talk a little bit about what's helped you to be successful, to be able to, I mean, to be able to enroll 20 to 25 people a quarter online, you know, right now, I think that a lot of people will be super excited about that. I know that you have bigger goals, of course, but
Yes.
still something to be proud of in kind of, you know, the atmosphere that people are in. So can you tell us a little bit about how you stay consistent with social media networking and what that was like for you?
Um, what it was like for me was horrible because I only used Facebook was to just catch up with people. It was never something that I was going to do with my business. And so how to network on social media was total foreign to me. The other side of it is I hated doing live videos, to be very honest. I felt so uncomfortable looking at myself. And so I had a couple of huge things to overcome by doing classes online and by just networking with people. Um, I think the majority of it was a lot of coaching, taking classes, getting me comfortable, knowing what to post. Um, you know, it was just, you can't just post about, you can't put a picture up there and expect people to comment. And that's what I had to get out of my comfort zone of seeing myself, looking at myself. That was huge. And I would talk with my hands, I roll my eyes, and it was like, do I stop all of that? And I'm like, okay, I just have to be me. If they don't like it, I'm sorry. You know, don't look at my video. So it just took a lot of practice, but I was successful. And then I learned from you that the how to post, what to post, and that really helped a lot. And then also I started, which I think I also learned from you, is I started getting into different groups that interest me. Doing hobbies. I thought I didn't have any hobbies until you start thinking, oh, I guess I do. Because I mean, I literally thought all I do is work. So how, and you know, and my business is my hobby, so to speak, but it's not. But it's like all I thought I knew was the oil business. And then, so my faith is huge with me. And so I got into the faith-based groups and workout groups. We bought a Nordic track last November. And so I got into that iFit group and I grew my network by that. I started, you know, commenting on other people's posts, building relationships with those people. And those are the people that basically are now part of my business. You know, they are who I helped with their health and wellness. And so it does work. It's not the way I like to do it. They can't smell my oils. I can't, you know, give them hugs, and I can't do it my personal way. But it's another avenue to go down, and it worked.
That's really cool. So how did you overcome that? So I'm noticing a lot of people, it's been a long time. Like at this point, I'm like, come on, guys. I
We've been doing
but
this
a lot
over
of
a year
people were
now.
just really like just so much resistance to operating right with online networking. The face stuff is probably the biggest hurdle as a social media coach that I have to overcome when I coach on social media. So that's really, really normal. And so we saw so many people like, yeah, I want to do this. They couldn't bring themselves to do it. They were still kind of salty about the fact they had to
Mhm.
do social media and I don't want to. I'd rather be in person and I have to and I hate it. And like everything had this like sauce on it that was like a temper tantrum. How did you not fall into that trap? Or if you did fall into the trap, how did you overcome and get out of it?
Oh, I did. I didn't want to do it. I mean, when I was at my other job, I worked at a school, and I wouldn't even get on the PA system and do an announcement. I mean, literally, I was that fearful until I got forced to do it. Um, and I didn't want to do live videos, and I didn't want to do any of that stuff. And I think it was just a matter of mindset, like, I can't, I can't, I can't. You believe you can't. And I switched it to I can do this. I may not like it. And I actually had a friend that said, put a piece of paper over where you can't see your face. And so I did that a few times. And it kind of eased me up. And I mean, I do a live video every single morning in our rosary group. Every morning I'm on at live saying our rosary at 7:15. And people are like, you've really come a long ways. And it's just a matter of, I can do this. I wanted to grow my business. You are going to have an end goal. And I think that that was a big thing, is how bad do you want something? And are you determined to get there? If you're determined to get to that spot where you want to be, you're going to do anything, and you're going to overcome all your fears. Fears are something that you have to overcome. And that was, I think, it was just a matter of just doing it, and Jed filming me for a long time. So I didn't have to do it, see myself. He would film me. And then I'd look at him like, oh, I did pretty good.
That's great. So what is your end goal?
I'm sorry, what?
What is your end goal?
To be, to make that 7 figures or 6 figures a year. I mean, our little goal right now is to get our in-ground pool in our house. That's our little goal. So that's what that we're both working towards. And then once that's in, we break it up. But yeah, I mean, I want him to be able to retire, and we'd be able to travel, and just the same dreams that basically probably 1 million people have in this world. But it's making that 6, 7 figures a year and helping people along the way with their health and wellness. There's just a lot of people in this world that need help. And I started this whole process because of my son, who's an addict. And so I've seen him waste his life, and I don't want other parents, other individuals to go through what I'm going through daily.
Wow. Thank you. What encouragement would you have for people that are listening to this right now, and they want to be more consistent, they want to be successful, right? They want to make a move.
You can do basically anything that you put your mind to doing. Pray, if you believe in prayer. Meditate, if you believe in the meditation. Do whatever speaks to your heart, and really look deep in your soul, because we all can overcome anything, and we all can make what we're made to be on this earth, to be happy and to have a life full of fullness. We're not here to be sad and full of grief and anger. And I think that that's a lot of what's happening with this world right now, is there's just kindness. Be kind to yourself. I think that's a big thing. I think people are not being kind to themselves.
I agree with that. Thank you so much for sharing everything with us today. We're super grateful for you taking your time and sharing, I guess, the good and the bad, and being vulnerable. So thank you so much, Denette.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.